Hey guys, Happy New Year! Our top 5 cars of 2023 ends today with the number 1 car, the brand new BMW M4 CSL. Now, if you want to see cars 5 through 2, go back the last 4 Mondays and you'll see the countdown. Remember to like, share, and subscribe, and comment on every single video. The more likes and comments and subscribers I have, the better cars we can do in 2024. So Happy New Year, everybody. Enjoy the video. You'll get a new video every Monday at 7 a.m. Eastern. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. Hey guys, it's Glenn from Glenn'sCarCollection.com, and I have the best press car ever today, the 2023 BMW M4 CSL. Yes, this is the ultimate BMW right now, limited edition, the fastest and best iteration of the BMW M4, and who knows? I'll let you know at the end of this video, maybe the best modern BMW you can buy. So it's got an extra 40 horsepower more than the M4 competition, but this is rear drive. It has Pilot Sport Cup tires. Everything is standard on this car, by the way. All the carbon fiber, the seats. The only thing optional on this car is the frozen Brooklyn gray, which we'll go over in a minute. You have laser lights. The daytime running lights actually will appear to be yellow. We'll start up the car and we'll show you that. Here's a little hint that you're driving something special, the CSL. And then obviously we have the 50 years of M badge, that's included. Now this is real carbon fiber. So this is a carbon fiber hood inside and out, and this is exposed carbon fiber. So make sure you take care of that if you own one of these cars. I would love to own this car. Now this weighs about 240 pounds less than the equivalent M4. And how do they do that? It's mainly stuff on the interior. Of course, this car has a stiffer suspension, but you have the carbon fiber hood, the carbon fiber trunk. Here you have a carbon fiber diffuser, and that's how you can tell a real M car, guys. We have 4 exhaust pipes, 2 on each side. You got the CSL badging here, regular trunk on the inside. Nice prominent BMW roundel badge. You have the carbon fiber roof. But most of that 240 pounds weight savings comes from the interior. We have 33 pounds less of sound deadening. We have these carbon fiber seats, which are manual seats. So what that does is save about 53 pounds. And if you didn't notice, the rear seat is deleted, saving another 44 pounds or so. So that's the majority of it. You have this carbon fiber center console. I think that saves like 9 pounds. This Alcantara steering wheel, and I can't wait to give it a drive. So again, 40 more horsepower, which brings it up to 543 from 503 from the M4 competition. Same torque, 479. So how do they do it? Well, they turn up the boost and add more cooling. So let's get inside and I'll show you the interior features, and then we'll take it for a spirited drive. And at the end of this video, I will tell you how you can get one. So make sure to subscribe so we keep getting more and more press cars. Like and comment in every video. Comment and let me know what car you want to see next. All right, so now we're inside the M4 CSL. We never got an E46 M3 CSL, so this is really special to get it here in the US. So we're going to start it, and it starts almost like regular M3 or M4 with the start button here, foot on the brake. It's automatic only, so 8-speed ZF, not a dual clutch. So let's start it up. Wow, have you ever heard a stock car sound like this? Unless it was a Performante 812 Superfast. Sounds amazing. So let's look at the window sticker real quick. The good news is everything is the same as my M340i with the iDrive system here. I've done a ton of videos on that car because I had it 3 years. The lease just ended. So you could easily look up, let's turn the fan speed down here. You can easily look up all the infotainment. So different than the M2, the other 2023 models have the 2 screens here with all the apps. This is not that, it's still the old system. So 2023 M4 CSL Coupe, and that's the only way we can get it, an M4, not an M3, so 2 doors, $139,900. Everything is included, the full leather, remote engine start, the M Start Professional, the front end strut brace, the locking wheel bolts, the M differential, the adaptive suspension, the 19-inch wheels in the front, 20s in the rear, shadowline lights, the 50-year emblems. Now this has carbon ceramic brakes, and these are not M compound brakes, which are steel. These are actually the ceramic brakes, and they're included in the price. So the only thing you have to pay extra for this, and you know, you still have modern conveniences like Apple CarPlay, the park distance control, auto climate control, wireless charging here for your cell phone. The only thing that you have to pay extra for is this paint, which is, like I said in the beginning of the video, frozen Brooklyn gray metallic, and that is a $4,500 option. So with a $995 destination charge, the sticker price, if you can get one anywhere close to sticker, is $145,395. Gas mileage is 16 city, 23 highway, averaging 18. All right, so now we can drive this in a couple different modes. Well, so you still have the hard buttons that my 2020 M340 had, so you can save these 8 buttons for anything. You have auto climate control. You don't have to go to a screen like the new cars to do the climate control. You have everything you want here. Now the seat is actually manual, so I'm gonna move it up a little closer just so you can see a little better. You have the carbon fiber interior package that says optional on the M2. It's standard here. You got a lovely carbon fiber shift paddles, so they feel really good to the touch, and they feel expensive actually. You have a good backup camera here. It's not a 360 camera, but you do have sensors, and it will tell you with the lines where it's going to go. You can drive in D, which is automatic mode, which will shift for us. We over, and then it's in S mode, and then there's 3 speeds in that mode, so we can do 1, 2, 3, depending how fast we want it to shift. We'll try all the modes out. Why not? And what we can do now is just similar to the other cars, and we can play around with the exhaust, make it quiet. Why would we do that? Make it loud. Then we press M mode, and that M mode will automatically be in the sport mode here. So what I'm gonna do is we'll start driving, and I'll just show you that now. So we're gonna drive in automatic mode for the sake of getting out of this parking lot. I need that camera to disappear just to show you the sport mode. So the camera stays on. Okay, so now it's off. So now what we're gonna do is we're gonna stop, and you feel everything because it has 33 pounds less of interior sound deadening. You feel every rock, road noise, tire noise, which we're going to hear in a minute. So if we press the M button, that puts us in what they call road mode, which is, I just call it normal mode, so road mode. Again, and it's sport mode, and now we get the tachometer that we do on, say, the M8 competition. And then you can set up anything you want. So you can set up the M1 button, M2 buttons. You can do Sport, Sport Plus. So what we can do is M1 right now. It's not, they have the M dynamic mode, DSC on. So you can play around with everything you want. So we're gonna put the engine in Sport Plus. We'll keep the chassis. See the difference in sound? So efficient, quiet, Sport, slightly louder. Sport Plus, you can hear the difference. Comfort steering, comfort brake, you can put that into Sport. And like we did with the M2, we can play around with the chassis. So we're doing comfort level just so we don't have too many bumps here. So let's take it out for a spin. All right, so the first thing you notice here is a very prominent heads-up display. This is probably the biggest heads-up display I've ever seen, and it is fantastic. All right, so we're gonna drive in manual mode. So we click it to the right, and now we have to shift for ourselves. Now we're in sport mode, as you can tell by the gauges. The gauges also give us a G meter and tire temperature. Very important if you ever drive spiritedly. Like when I drive my Sunday morning drives, I always have the tire pressure on so I can see what it is. Nice downshift there. Now in sport mode, it really jerks the shifts. It jerks it, even if it shifts automatically for you. I guess to give you a little jolt so you know that you're in something special. Now it's very bumpy in here. Your significant other probably will not want to be on this car for a date night. Your kids will either love it or hate it. Remember, it's a 2-seater, so you can only take your favorite. And I just love this heads-up display. I hope it's coming out on camera. All right, so now we're gonna downshift to second. See that jerk there? That wasn't me, that was the car. Remember, it's a torque converter automatic. So it's trying to give us its best imitation of a dual clutch. And if you didn't know it, in sport mode with these jerks, with the shifting, you probably would think it was a dual clutch transmission with this jerkiness. This is definitely, you know, software, it's engineered in there. Now you can hear a lot of road noise, right? I can hear a lot of tire noise. I can hear a lot of wind noise. Now that's certainly, I can hear that I ran over a pebble there. As Jeremy Clarkson used to say, you can run over a spider and you can tell what it ate for breakfast. Or you run over a quarter and you know whether it was heads or tails. And I agree with that assessment in this car. It is fun to go through the gears. The gearbox is very responsive. This is a whole different animal. I mean, this reminds me a lot of the M4 GTS from 2016. That was built in extreme limited numbers, and you know, that had the big wing and everything, so that was really kind of carbon fiber doors, if I remember correctly. That's one of the first videos I ever did on this channel, back at the end of 2016 when I started. All right, so now let's put it in sport mode. Only sport mode gives us that heads-up display, which I really, really like. Now, again, the ride is rough. That's probably, you know, the worst thing about this car. I really like these carbon fiber manual buckets. I feel that I fit in them, and I just had the M2 with the carbon buckets yesterday, so I didn't gain or lose any weight. Shifts are rough in sport mode. I fit better in these. I think I have more room where my ribs are, where on the M2 carbon buckets was pressing against my ribs, and after a couple drives on the same day, my ribs were really sore. And they're still sore today, but I drove this car and they seem perfectly fine. So I don't know if there's a little more rib room here, but that extra, you know, 1/8 of an inch makes a difference, at least with my body type it does. All right, so now if we drive in auto mode, now the sound of this car attracts a lot of attention. I don't think people know what it is. You know, I don't think they just see some dude driving around in this BMW with big grills. So I don't think the average person knows what an M4 CSL is, but I think the engine noise, the exhaust noise, is what is turning a lot of heads. Because if I put this in efficient, people really don't notice it. If I drive this in sport or sport plus, as God intended, then I see a lot of people turning their heads to see what this is all about. Now it really pulls. Once you get to the RPMs like 3,500 to 4,000, those turbos really kick in. Now remember, this is a 6-cylinder inline 6 turbocharged. You don't have a V8 here. Plenty fast. BMW claims a 0 to 60 time of 3.6 seconds. And again, you have the extra 40 horsepower and save about 240 pounds. So the turn-in on this car is really like razor sharp. The rear subframe is solid to the body on this car, so it just feels so stiff. And what they did to get that sharp turn-in, besides obviously suspension, is they have more negative camber in the front wheels. And that's a mod I used to always do with all my cars. I used to love cars like E46 M3s, E90 M3s, and even other cars I've had from the 90s. Two mods that I always did were pretty cheap, is get as much negative camber alignment as you can. You can hear those pebbles that we're running over, right? In the M2, we wouldn't hear those at all, but without the sound editing, we hear that. And I always do sway bars on the car to get whatever turn-in or oversteer I wanted for, say, autocross, and as much negative camber in the front as I could to get as much as a razor sharp turn-in. So this probably has some of the best turn-in, you know, this side of, say, a Lotus Evora of any car I've driven recently. And it's a different beast. You're not cross-shopping, I think, a regular M4 in this car. And likewise, you're not buying an M4 and saying, well, I'm gonna make it into a CSL. You can't with all these changes. Now, if I go over, I'll try to find some manhole covers, and you'll hear kind of the jolt we get in this suspension from it. This is where I filmed, me and Doug DeMuro filmed my BMW 1 Series M back in 2017. All right, so now where you have it in auto mode, so let's watch it downshift here. It downshifts pretty rough in sport mode. You know, obviously it's doing that for an effect, It reminds me kind of like of the F430 Ferraris, where it's like boom, boom, boom when you downshift and upshift in race mode. All right, and we're not even in track mode. So let's see how smoothly we downshift here. So jerking this into second, jerked this into first. Did it before we even came to a stop. Now the upshifts give us a little jolt too. I don't know if you noticed that. These are the smooth. All right, let's go over this part. There we go. Feel that? Well, that's what losing your sound deadening does. You feel it, which I don't know, probably didn't come across on camera. Camber. Figures Glenn would be talking about camber, not camera. So you do feel the jolt in your back. The seats do bother your lower back. I have a bad back from all those years of ice hockey, but I could definitely live with these seats. Where on the M2 carbon buckets, I don't think I could. So I have a little more room here. Once you're in them, they're comfortable. You don't have kind of like that lumbar support. But the turn-in here is just incredible. Look how easy it turns in. Look how sharp that turn-in is. No understeer on these roads. Wow, I am surprised that person went left. Usually when they go, see all those pebbles? Now you wouldn't hear that at all on the M2. You can hear my other camera rattling around. I had SD problems today, so that intro, the video, yeah, it's like Murphy's Law. When you need something to work, I've been dreaming of CSL press car since it came out. I finally got one, and then my SD card in my camera decided to unhinge itself. Oh, that's my camera again. Decided not to work anymore, and I had to run home. Luckily, I live local and save the footage, and I can't use that camera anymore, not that SD card anyway. So if we drive it in automatic mode, we were already in 5th gear by 40 miles an hour. Now this car, you definitely want to skip those manhole covers. So let's talk about values. Well, what can you get that's this collectible for this price point, under $150,000? Not much at all. You could get some kind of, you know, GT3 Touring RS Sport Classic, and you know those are going to cost you with markups probably $200,000 or $300,000. So this or the M5 CS are probably your best investment, and unfortunately I think we're going to see a lot of that. Let's go into manual mode here because we got some turns. You know, people locking these away as a future investment, and this is probably one of the few cars, this and the M5 CS, that does not have a manual transmission that will be a future collectible. Again, no manual is offered, just this 8-speed ZF torque converter, automatic. But this is a lot of fun to drive, let me tell you. Like I said, your significant other will not want to go on a date night in this car, but you will definitely take the long way home. When this came out, I didn't really think anything of it. I think I was still not crazy about the big grills on the M3, M4, but the grills have grown on me. So now I think this car looks amazing, especially with the exposed carbon fiber on the roof. And I think the red accents and this frozen Brooklyn gray paint. All right, so we'll just do one exit on the highway, just because I want to see if this has what the road noise would be, because there's really very little sound deadening here, so I have a feeling that's what we're getting. Let's just get in front of this truck here. It really puts the power down too. You'll definitely be confident driving this car. All right, so we'll upshift to go up the hill. Again, we're in sport mode, so we have the heads-up display, and they are, wow, the turn-in is just so good. This probably has the best turn-in of any BMW I've driven. All right, so one exit, just to get a little bit of road noise, maybe one nice acceleration up to the speed limit. Now this gives you a real sharp turn here. And what we'll do is we'll merge. So we're actually we'll downshift the first gear. And that's the speed limit. So we have an 8-speed here, so that'll help for your gas mods. That's probably how you're getting that 18, 19 miles per gallon. It put the power down very well. All right, so now we're going to downshift again. We're going to sport mode. Now you can really hear, listen how loud that was, that truck next to us. A lot of sound on the highway. It's still dominated by the engine though. I thought we were going to hear a lot of tire noise, and we did when we went over rocks. Here we go again. Pebbles that you don't even see in the road, you hear here. But, you know, the engine is the dominant characteristic in this car as far as what you hear when you're driving. All right, so now let's drive in normal mode, and let's let the car shift for itself. I don't want to say it's not like a normal BMW, because it's still something special even in automatic mode where it's shifting for itself, and even the automatic gauges. So this is as relaxed as the car is going to get. I mean, could you daily commute this car? I'm sure you could. Why would you want to? Because you're going to get, it's very low. With that front splitter, it is very low. I don't think, I usually film in this park, but there's a speed bump or two to get into the park. So I didn't go to the park with this car today because I wasn't confident that I was going to clear that speed bump. It'd be awesome to drive this car on the track. And that's kind of like the conundrum. This would be a great car to drive on the track because it is pretty much a track car for the street. But do you want to get all the nicks and stones and scratches on the track in your collectible car? From experience, you know, to have the experience of this car, absolutely. To keep its value, probably not. Now, the M4 GTS was kind of funny. They didn't sell well. I don't think people was ready for such a hardcore car. So when I bought my M2 new in 2016, they had a 16 M4 GTS, and I think the sticker was like 139, somewhere in that range, and they would give you like a deal. They'd give you way under sticker to buy that car, to take them off their hands. They were just sitting in dealerships, and they only made like 300 of them or something like that. And then they went down in 2020, like everything else during the pandemic and lockdown, into like the 70, 80,000. And, you know, now they're up to the stratosphere, just like every collectible car. So that was kind of the time to buy them. So I don't know, with the limited production here, if we're going to see the same results. I think we would need some kind of recession or something else BMW enthusiasts would go after. Like, for example, we had the M5 CS. Maybe if they made an M5 CSL, or M2 CSL, which I think there will be, that'll take attention off this car. It won't be the hot car anymore. People will trade these in to get, say, the M2 CSL, the M5 CSL, the M8 CSL, whatever it is. And then that'll be the time to buy, because this is still a special car that I think will go up in value long term. All right, so we're going to end it here. So thanks again for watching. Remember to like, share, and subscribe. Make sure you comment and like every video, and let me know what car you want me to review next. Keep saying that every video. If I get enough people saying it, I can go to a manufacturer and get the press car, say, look, these are all my subscribers and this is what they want me to drive. Thanks again for watching, and I will see you next time.